Hello and welcome back to Abnormal Alabama with your hosts, Dr. Kelsey Graham, My Haunted Dolls Kevin Kane, and Lady Catherine.
Hello and welcome back to Abnormal Alabama, and welcome to my peeps in My Haunted Dolls on YouTube. Unfortunately, due to a YouTube issue that Dr. Kelsey had, we're not able to broadcast this show tonight on the Abnormal Alabama YouTube page. Hopefully, it can get shared later. Some issue he had with YouTube, but it's only going to last for about a week. So hopefully next Tuesday he'll be back on. And if you're wondering where he and Catherine are tonight, they had a wedding to work at this evening and hope to be on a little bit later. I know I'm going to be on here until 8:30 tonight, as we talked about last week. My dad had some surgery about 3 weeks ago on his knee, a whole knee replacement. So I want to make sure I'm in there in case he needs ice packs on his knees before he goes to bed. But hopefully we're not too far off from getting back to normal, at least before Christmas. Definitely, hopefully between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which, can you believe next week is Thanksgiving? I cannot believe that. We're going to need to do some Thanksgiving creepy stories. Well, I hope some of y'all tune in and here a little bit later. Looks like we've had a few people come on, and I hope some more come on here because I'm about to show off some items that I won from the Betty White estate auction. This took place back in late September, and they finally arrived today. Take these glasses off for now since I don't have to read. They finally arrived today, and I'm going to try a spirit box session in a little bit just to see what happens. Now, nobody says these things are haunted by Betty or anything, but who knows if some energy might be attached. And if nothing else, it's a fun thing that you get to see two items here that were actually owned by Betty White, that were in her home in California. First, I want to do a shameless plug because I am a published author and I need book sales. So if you haven't seen it yet, this is my collection of original short horror stories, Dark Awakening and Other Tales for a Midnight Hour. This is a hardbound version you can buy on Amazon. It's also in paperback and Kindle. I published this earlier this year. And the newest one that just came out last month, Fear Not, Weep Not, which is an inspirational book. It's also in hardbound, paperback, and ebook. So be sure to check those out. I would greatly appreciate it. I've got some other books out there on my website at myhaunteddolls.com. Let me throw up, not literally throw up, but let me put up the bumper sticker if we still have it up here. Yep, there it is. You can buy one of those on my website, myhaunteddolls.com, in my shop. Books about my haunted collections. There's the original one. Got some supernatural novels out there that are based on true hauntings and events, like this one here. And if you look on the bottom of your screen, you see I've got scrolling here, Dr. Kelsey's Wish Machine here. So be sure to check that out. Maybe it might help your wishes come true. There's a picture of it. If you'd like to know more about the technical stuff behind it, you definitely need to reach out to Dr. Kelsey. Also, go to his website, datingthedead.com, and check out this book. It's got some nice, strange, interesting stories where people literally date the paranormal. So if you want to know about that, go and check out that book, datingthedead.com. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start up our session here. I don't even have my K2 meter on. There we go. And you know what? I didn't think to get out my cat ball. I'm going to put that here too. So, all right. Let's get down to business. Here are the items. We have a picture here from one of Betty's events. I'm not sure what this event is, but it was some sort of country western event, and the people there made up this little framed keepsake for her with pictures taken at the event. It looks like a film strip if you look closely at it. It's not, but it's just made like one. Apparently, she was into arts and crafts, so she may have made this herself. And I have a picture on here where you can see where this actually hung. It hung in her house in her dressing room. So if you look there in the middle of the picture there, hanging under the cabinets there and above the counter there in the back on the wall, is this picture that I now own. That's where it was in Betty's house. Now it's in my house. So that's number one. And number two, we have a handcrafted, I'm going to go ahead and set it up here. And it's still in the wrapping. I think I'm going to keep it in that to protect it. But this is a handcrafted tea caddy. You would put your tea bags into the top and you'd pull them out at the bottom here. This was made, it's got her name, her full married name, Betty White Ludden. And it's a beautiful item. Now, these weren't cheap. I mean, this is from the estate of Betty White. The auction was, though, a charity auction, which is awesome because then, you know, it's not only are you giving to charity, which was this was an environmental and animal charity, because we all know Betty was very big about that. But this also means that come tax time, I can see about getting a little something back, but that's not the important thing. But I just thought it was a really good investment. But it would be interesting to see if any of Betty's energy is here. Also, I want to show you the gallery guide for the auction. It was Julian's Auctions. Property from the life and career of Betty White. Inside, I've got the certificates, the tags that hung on the items during the auction. And there's a beautiful old picture of her from early in her career. It just lists all the items that were auctioned off and the value they thought they were going to get. But I can tell you on every single item, they got more than they thought. So there it is. 2 items from the home of Betty White in California. I want to say Glendale's the name of the city, but I'm probably wrong on that. It's the one where a lot of the really famous celebrities live. I think Lucille Ball lived out there, probably not too many houses away from Miss Betty. But if Miss Betty is indeed here, if there's any energy of her left behind, because these sat, and I want to show the picture of where the tea caddy sat in her kitchen. You can see it back there in the upper left-hand corner. Each of those mugs you see pictured were also sold off in the auction, but just way too expensive. I did try to bid on one, and it just got up in the thousands. So these 2 items I have here were 2 of the lesser expensive ones, but this I'm really proud of because it's actually one of her handcrafts. I think someone else may have made it for her and then she painted and put her name on it. So, but anyway, this is really awesome. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to turn on, because we're already almost at 7:15 here. We'll turn on the spirit box, the ghost tube, and we'll see if we get anything here. So if nobody's used this before, this is one of the spirit boxes that you don't have to have the static, it doesn't use that. I'm going to clear out my... Oh, I just heard a voice. And that blast of music means yes, something is here. My name is Kevin Kane, and I'm just interested to know I have two items here that belong to the wonderful, beautiful actress Betty White. I'm just curious if any of her energy is here with me with these items. Miss Betty, are you here? Is there anyone here with these two items? If you are here, that was a very deep voice. If you are here, I've got some items here that you can tinker around with, play around with here. I've got this cat ball. If you touch it, yeah, this is a cat ball here. Cats like to play with it, but I think it's useful for us to help communicate with you in the spirit world. If you are here and want to let me know you're here, you can just touch it like that, and it will light up. You're welcome. I think that said thank you. You're welcome. Back here, this goofy looking skull. It may look scary, but it's not. It's actually funny. If you touch this antenna, look at the eyes flashing and makes all kinds of noise. I've got it fully charged. So, and then we have this bell. If you want to just tap the bell, let me know you're here. That's an old hotel bell back there. Yes, you recognize the hotel bell?
The trust in me.
How many spirits are here with me now? I love this tea caddy. It's got the light's kind of shining here. Let me block it out a little here. Hard to tell where my hand is. Oh well. Here, I'll just do this. There we go. You can see the little knob on top there where it says tea, where she wrote tea on there. It's beautifully shaped. And I'll turn it around so you can see the back of it here. It's beautifully painted. It's got the little white dots around there. Very pretty. I wonder if she was trying to make it look like a strawberry.
Actually, yeah.
Actually did. Do you like strawberries?
That's 74.
74. Is that Daisy? My sister has a dog named Daisy, but she's not here. She's at my sister's house. Is your name Daisy? Do you know Miss Betty White? These are two items that she owned that belonged to her. They had over 1,600 items in this auction that sold out of her house. Beautiful old antique items and dishes. There were some I tried to get that just went too high. I managed to bid, but I got outbid severely. So people were there in person, and there were people like me online doing the auction. So, but it was fun. I enjoyed doing it that weekend. A lot of people don't know that Betty White was married to Alan Ludden, who was a game show host. And that's why it has Ludden on here. Betty White Ludden. That was her married name. And Mr. Ludden passed away before her. I think he passed away back in the 1990s, although I could be mistaken. No, he passed away before she did Golden Girls. So it was in the early 80s. I remember her talking about she did Golden Girls to help her kind of get through. First, to begin with, she did it to try to help her get through her depression over losing her husband. Or I think she said it helped her to move on, keep working, because that's what he would have wanted for her. But now she's with him again. Miss Betty, are you here with me? If you are, it's really awesome to have you here, because I'm a big fan of the work you did. Golden Girls, Mama's Family. Those are my two top favorites, but there was also Mary Tyler Moore Show, a lot of movies. Oh, there was also one you were in called You Again, with Sigourney Weaver and Jamie Lee Curtis, Kristen Bell. That was a pretty funny movie, had a good cast. If you're here, I'd love for you to touch one of these objects. You can make one of these light up, or just tap that bell. Betty, if you're here, tell me, what was your favorite show to do on TV? Whoa. I think something else is here. Don't have Catherine here to back me up, but if I was to make an educated guess, that sounded kind of negative. If there's any negative spirits here, we don't welcome you here. You need to move on to where you belong.
Never have known.
Never have known. This is a house blessed by Christ. We don't welcome anything negative here. Is Mr. Ludden here with Betty? Maybe that's who I heard coming through.
The Essential.
The Essential. Is that you, Mr. Alan Ludden? That kind of sounded like his voice. It's been a long time since I've heard him say anything on TV, but I'm trying to think, what was the name of the game show that you hosted? Was it Password? No, that was a different one. No, I think that was it, Password. I know Miss Betty was on there a lot. I remember my favorite clip is from that. One of my favorite classic TV show clips is Betty and Lucille Ball and Carol Channing on that game show, just teasing each other, just going back and forth with each other, banter, as they say, and it was hilarious. Had the host in stitches, which was probably Mr. Ludden. I'm not sure if he had retired from the show yet or not at that time. I think it was you. The air conditioning just kicked on behind me. If you just heard that sound of a breeze. So you just tuned in. These are 2 items from the estate of Betty White. This is her tea caddy that she kept her tea package. I didn't quite hear you. But this was her tea caddy that was made, or I think she actually painted her name on herself with her married name, Betty White Ludden. And this is where she kept her tea. And that was in her kitchen. And this is a picture that hung in her dressing room of a country western event she attended, and they gave her this film strip. You can see the Kodak emblem on there. And I won these 2 items from the estate sale of Betty White. Or the estate auction, I should say.
And the gate?
And the gates. What gates are you talking about? I would still love to hear from Miss Betty if she's here, if maybe her energy is still with these items. Not sure if that was her trying to come through. Miss Betty, maybe you can tell me where this event was that you attended in the pictures.
Hello.
Oh, we got Dr. Kelsey on here.
I am pulling away from the castle, so I'm driving.
Oh, the castle in Columbiana.
Oh, man, what a trip.
I've got some voices that have come through, and one of them sounded like Betty White's husband, Alan Ludden, who died before she did.
Have a show, was it a talk show, a variety show on TV?
Yeah, he did. I was talking about that a minute ago. I think he was the host of Password, and she was on there a lot.
That was the love of her life, but she never fell in love again.
Yeah.
Even though she was a very loving person.
Yeah. I was
Sorry, go ahead.
showing everybody the gallery guide that came with my items. It's got her picture in it and certificates of authenticity for the items. And
so the main thing you got was that cup. Was it a coffee cup or something?
This tea caddy.
Okay.
Put your tea in here, and she would pull the bags out from here.
Okay.
And this other was this picture that she had hanging in her dressing room. Some kind of event.
So you got more than one item.
Yeah, I had these 2. They were 2 of the least expensive items because everything was going up in the thousands.
I started to say, even being the least expensive, they were probably still expensive.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of keeping this wrapping, plastic wrap around this to protect it. But that's a beautiful thing.
I can't really look at it while I'm driving here, but I will see it. So you've been using your spirit box to try to talk to Betty White, or she just happened to come through?
I don't know. I heard a faint voice. It might have been her when I was asking for her, but definitely Alan Ludden, because I even asked him, "Is this Alan Ludden?" And he responded, "The Essential."
So I don't remember, you were on the show when Catherine did the Golden Girls or something, and Betty White's voice undoubtedly came through. It sounded just like her several times. Were you there then?
Was that at the seance we did at your house, or was this a different time?
No. This is just in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I thought she was going to get on here with us, but I guess not. But yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and looked at that. I need to go back and look at it.
Well, you would hear Betty White's voice distinctly, her voice. You know, I mean, it was like several times, not just once.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to join you and make you feel not alone.
I am not alone.
Guys, I cannot hear you.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, but she says she can't hear us. I wonder why.
Oh, where is she? You let her in. There
Yeah,
she
let
is.
her
Now,
in.
turn her radio up, girl. I can hear him. And I certainly can hear myself.
Yeah, I see.
Catherine. Huh?
I see Catherine's face there. Oh, it disappeared.
Uh-oh. Great vanishing act.
Yeah, she might have some connection problem.
Well, she's up. We were both at this wedding. Of course, she was in her car, but we had a fire and ice wedding, and I shot fire out of my wrist.
Oh.
I got to see how that looks on video. Oh,
The voice just said something to you there, but I don't know what it was saying.
I couldn't hear it.
It sounded like it was responding to your fire comment.
In 90.
90. Not sure what that means.
I don't know.
Mr. Ludden, are you still here? Is Miss Betty here at all?
Travel by.
Travel by. Do you have to travel to get here?
Working at a.
Working
Working
in. Wow.
Woo.
Mr. Ludden, are you happy to see Betty again?
She's back. I think I heard her come back.
Yeah, let me see if I can get her in there. There we go.
Hey guys, I was having a hard time hearing you.
It wasn't our fault because I heard him just fine.
I couldn't hear you. I just got this new phone and I'm trying to learn it. So
Learning. Where he's trying to talk, he got his Betty White stuff in that he paid phenomenal amounts of money for. And he said he heard something from Alan Ludden, and he's trying to talk to Betty. And I told him about the show we did, that Betty White came through several times. It was clear that it was her, distinctly her voice.
it was distinctly her voice.
When was that show? He must not have been on there with us.
No, he was not. It's the one where Mother got me the Golden Girls collection. And there's a picture of that on there on that show. I can't remember which show it was.
It's been a couple of weeks ago anyway, Kevin. You were wrapped up with your dad.
Yeah, wrapped up with all that.
How's he
And it
doing,
may have
by the
been-
way?
He's getting better. He started going into a therapy place up here in Chelsea to finish out his therapy the next 3 weeks.
So you have to drive him there, right?
He's actually driving himself. He was cleared
Oh,
last
wow.
Thursday to drive. So
Great.
the only thing now just is helping him with the ice packs. And I do a little massage on his knee for him twice a day.
Well, if we can get Betty White to come in and say a cheerful word to Kevin's dad, it would be a big thing.
Oh, yes, Miss Betty. If you're here with these beautiful items, I'm honored to have these here in my collection.
To
And
think that your hands, Betty, actually touched those items that Kevin's hands are now touching.
yeah, and this hung right there in her dressing room where she would get ready. I showed a picture.
Oh, I don't
picture?
even want to hear that.
There's the picture where
What?
it hung there. You can see it back there and underneath the cabinets. And then there's her tea caddy.
Where did she keep the tea caddy?
In her kitchen. Oh, a voice just said per instructions on the spirit box.
Her instructions.
What are
Oh,
what are Miss White's instructions?
it just said love to chat right before you spoke. We'd love to chat
Okay.
with you. What were the instructions?
To make sure that somebody, this is what I got, to make sure that somebody that will appreciate them got these items.
Yes, and I do appreciate it. I asked her early where was this event where she did this country western thing in the pictures.
You know, she was a friend and co-actor with Leslie Gordon. Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Leslie Jordan.
Yes, and he just passed away a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I did a spirit box on him too. Had him come through too.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's
he was a very talented man.
Yes, he was. He kept me in stitches. He was in that show, The Cool Kids, a few years ago with Vicki Lawrence, and that was fantastic.
Did you know that he sang on the Grand Ole Opry?
I thought somebody mentioned that not long ago.
Yeah, with 2 or 3 well-known country singers, and I can't remember who they were, but I mean, he was a hoot. You got to go back and find that on YouTube. He just recently had cut an album with Dolly Parton and several others.
Wow.
Oh, wow, multi-talented guy, and really rose to stardom thanks to Instagram, TikTok.
Miss White, if you're here, I heard that you, in fact, I've heard you sing before. You just didn't do a lot of it, but you had a pretty voice too. Maybe she was singing at this event here. It must have been an important event for her to have a framed film strip craft picture hanging in her dressing room.
You didn't get that. You just seen the picture, right?
Huh?
Did you get that?
Yeah, this is the picture that hung in the dressing room.
Now, what is that picture again?
It's her at a country western event. And it looks like a film strip here. You can see Kodak up here on top.
Where did she have it hanging?
It was hanging in her dressing room. You probably can't see the picture. I'll put it up here again. It was hanging in her dressing room beneath her cabinets and above the vanity there.
Keep in mind I'm driving, so I can't.
Yeah. And so it must have meant something to her to be. I just wish it had some information with it, but.
Catherine, are you still there?
Oh, let me get her back on. There she
I'm sorry. I'm driving too, and my phone flipped, and I accidentally cut out of it.
Don't flip the phone.
Yeah, I'm still learning this new phone.
Well, we had a fun wedding, and I'm tired. I'm glad. I enjoyed it, but I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm glad it's over.
We've had weddings and rehearsals every day since Friday.
Well, Miss White, we haven't forgotten about you. If you're here, I'd love to hear you say hello. Voice said, I knew that. Is that you, Miss Betty?
Man.
You got the cat ball there, Kevin?
Yes, it's right here. Nothing is lit up yet. I've pointed these out a few times to her. this I got this fully charged tonight.
Anybody that's out there watching this, help Kevin out by sending your energy out there with him to get Betty White to talk to us. If we do a joint effort here, it makes it stronger and easier for them to come through. It takes a lot of energy for them to come through from the spirit world to the physical world. So the more energy we pull together and let them tap into, the easier it is for them.
I just heard a faint voice come through. Can you please come closer and say that again?
Trying to come through.
Missions.
Yes.
What they say?
Sound like I said missions.
Yes. We're
Yes,
on a
ma'am.
mission to hear from Betty White.
Her mission was animals.
And that's the other fun thing is this auction was strictly charity. It went to her animal rights and environmental, so I can claim it on my tax. So that's pretty awesome.
Excuse me, y'all. I couldn't find the mute button.
Now you got me coughing.
It's these allergies this season. Miss
Yeah.
Betty, what was your favorite animal's name?
A puppy?
Was that Alan or was that Leslie or who was that?
Mr. Ludden, was that you who just spoke? I didn't quite make out what that says. Something about equality or something, or quantity.
I thought it was equality.
Equality. I know Miss Betty loved animal rights and
Animal equality.
animal equality.
I don't know. I kind of like cats and dogs, but I'm not big fond of snakes or lizards.
I don't like spiders and snakes. That ain't what it takes.
I mean, I like to look at them behind a cage, but I don't like to play with them.
I think I will get Catherine a snake for Christmas.
No, I don't think so.
This just said looking out. Are you looking out at us? Are you looking out at do you recognize these two items here that used to be in your house? Whoa. That was a loud burst of static.
She's about to come through, Kevin. Static. She's about to come through, y'all. She's about to really come through.
Miss Betty, are you here? I know it takes some energy, so if you want to use any of these electronics here, you can, or even this phone here.
And we are all sending our energy out for you to use as well. Everyone here is thinking about you, sending our love and our energy out. Peace.
The voice said molten. I don't know if that was her or not, but something said molten.
I hope she's not in hell.
No.
That's not
Good
funny.
looking.
I think she said voting, but the voice said voting, but
Voting.
She's probably warning Kevin where he's going to go if he don't straighten up.
I have faith in where I'm going.
Oh, wait a minute. Something about Kevin twerking? What? I heard?
No. Miss Betty, we'd love to hear you. Please say hello to us.
And while we're at it, hey, Jeff Cook of Alabama just passed away. Anybody that's near and dear, feel free to come through. We're not partial. Catherine and I have done weddings at Cook's Castle up in Fort Payne. He has gold records on the wall. And he had a wall full of them. And we've been to his house, mansion
He
also
did.
down in where he actually, that's where he died, was at his home in Destin, right on the Gulf there. Big, beautiful mansion.
Yep.
That was a loud noise, but I'm not sure what that was.
I thought it said wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Alabama was my very first concert in the 80s.
Mm.
I wore my Alabama jacket, the band Alabama, forever. I was an Auburn fan when I was young.
My brother Van is a huge Alabama fan. He's been to their concerts. In fact, he still writes back and forth with Randy Owen.
What that
Jeff
say?
and Randy were my two favorites.
I think it said it sounded like Igor, but I'm sure that's not what it said. Mr. Ludden, are you with Betty now? Do you I think I said make it or we're
Nick?
making
Well, I guess spirits don't wear clothes. All spirits are naked, right? Is that what
I
they're
say
saying?
make it. I said make it.
I said that. All spirits
Make
are
it.
naked. Make it naked?
Make it.
It's like make it so.
What did he say?
I don't know. I think we're talking over them, and it's so rude of us.
Ooh.
Miss Betty, I love this picture inside the gallery guide. I wonder how old you were when that was taken. You were pretty young there. Told? Was that told or did you say old?
I thought she said cold.
Cold? Around a
What she
what?
wearing? What she wearing?
All right, I'm going to be getting out here for a moment, guys, so I'm going to leave it to you.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure knowing you. I'll see you on the other side.
Okay.
Catherine?
Yes.
Catherine, keep your boy happy.
Yes. Okay.
I
Oh,
don't know how to get out. I don't know how to get out of here.
I heard a
Take
thing.
me out.
Oh,
Take
here. Oh, take
Hit the
you out.
back button on your phone.
Here, I can take them off there. Here we go.
I may go through a couple of dead spots. You know, I'm driving through the country.
I heard a woman.
What does Betty White have on in that picture?
It's country western type of blouse and dress.
Is she in long sleeves?
Yes.
Miss Betty, were you cold during that when that photo shoot was taking place? I am.
I can't tell if this is inside or outdoors here. I see some hay bales behind them. Who is that man with you in the pictures? Oh, there was a little breath. Was that you, Miss Betty? So she kind of chuckled a little bit.
Were you flirting with that man, Miss Betty?
Is that? I think it's that's what
Was
you
that
call it.
Oh me. You was a player, Miss Betty, weren't you? I could just see her carrying on and laughing.
I think they said I think I said I know it, and then I missed the second part. I was talking.
You
I
know,
love for you to.
that show Golden Girls, y'all all know I love Golden Girls. I mean, that's obvious. It's my favorite show. I watch it every night to go to sleep. I have just about every episode memorized. Um, who was your favorite person that played with you in that show?
I think she just said Estelle. Estelle Getty. I love little Estelle Getty.
I loved them all.
Yeah.
And I could relate. What I loved about the show and the authors that wrote this show is that at each character, I can relate to each character. And that is very important for us strong women.
While you were talking, it said someone trying to. Someone trying to what? Somebody that's near and dear to my family because she's a relative. She's my dad's cousin. Miss Polly Holiday. She was on your show, Golden Girls, the first season. She played your blind sister. Oh, what was her name? What was that character's name? Lily. Your sister Lily.
I remember that show.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that was Polly Holiday who played Flo just a few years before that.
I did not realize that. I did not realize that.
Well, she didn't have the wig on and the waitress outfit.
And that sassy attitude. She had that scared
Yeah.
attitude because, you know, she had just gone blind. And it's
Yeah.
got to be a hard life-changing thing for a human being to go from being fully sighted to being fully blind.
Miss Betty, when I was, I first remember seeing her. I saw her probably when I was younger and don't remember. The first time I remember seeing Polly in 1988, she told us about that show. And she loved all of you. And she said she was kind of like you. She felt like B. Arthur was very serious. And you wouldn't know until you talked to her that she had a sense of humor.
See, I like her dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
I like a dry sense of humor when it comes to certain things. To me, that's kind of a intellectual thing, and I always thought B. Arthur was more of an intellect.
Yeah.
In real life than she was anything else. I don't know for sure, but I just felt that from her.
Yeah, when you watched her, you could tell there was a sense of humor in there because I mean, not only with some of the stuff she did physically with Dorothy and the funny stuff, but also before that when she played Maud,
Yes.
she
I
had
didn't. I have not watched a bunch of Maud. That was before I knew what TV was. I mean, I knew what TV was, but you know what I mean.
his voice. The voice said "got out." Was that you, Betty? You said something about you got out.
One summer.
One summer.
One summer, you got out one summer. So she's trying to tell a story.
Yeah, they will sometimes. You just have to put the words together because sometimes they can't get the words in the right order because they're trying too hard.
Did you get out one summer with Bee and Rue and Estelle and do something fun? I remember Betty once, a couple of times in later years, she said she wasn't sure that Bea Arthur even liked her.
Oh,
Because
me?
was so out there with the audience. She'd crack up the audience in between takes, and Bea would come over and pinch her, like, hey, enough, let's get back to work. But I don't think that. I think Bea liked her.
You guys can actually see me tonight.
Yeah.
I got makeup on and my hair's did. And the
Uh-oh. I think you froze.
okay. I cut out for just a second.
Yeah, you're back now.
What is that red thing right there, Kevin?
That is Betty White's, and see, she got her name written, her married name written on it. This is her tea caddy. She put the tea packets in here, and when she got ready to use them, she'd pull them out from the bottom here.
Miss Betty, what was your favorite kind of tea?
Didn't I? She was trying to say something, didn't I?
Hey, look, Kevin, I got to run inside because I can't sit in the car all night, but I'll be right back, okay? Just give me just a few minutes, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right, I'll see y'all in a minute.
All right. Put her down there while she goes inside. Miss Betty, is there anything else you want to tell us? Talk. I know it's kind of difficult to communicate from where you are, and I appreciate every effort you made. And Mr. Ludden, I think this is fantastic.
An artificial.
Artificial. You're talking about the tea? Artificial flavoring? We're going to do some stories about Native American burial grounds and people claiming curses from those. Did you ever visit a Native American burial ground, Miss Betty? I have some Native American in me. We have Cherokee in my family. In fact, I think it was my great great grand on my dad's side. It was full-blooded Cherokee. Did you have any Native American ancestry? Econom.
That's right. There's
There's a what? You liked me. You liked music, didn't you? Oh, I can tell you're playing that's some of your favorite music. Sounds kind of like jazz. Is that what you're playing for me? Did you like jazz, Miss Betty? What other kind of music did you like? Or do you like? And just because you go, I know, just because you go in the spirit world doesn't mean you stop liking music. Ooh. Hi, Miss Betty. Is Alan still with you? Mr. Allen?
One fine.
Looks like we've gone on to 8 o'clock now. Is there anything else you want to say before we stop?
Yeah.
Person? Well, I appreciate the effort you made to be here and talk. And Mr. Ludden, too. And I appreciate having these 2 items that you owned. I'm going to take good care of them. I think she's approving me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the box off. And if there's any spirits that don't belong, be sure to go back to where you come from, and all spirits back away. I'm going to count down from 5, and I'll go ahead and turn this off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Good night. There we go. And that's my bet. Those are my Betty White items. That was pretty cool. There I am.
I know you love them.
You
I just want to touch them, Kevin.
just want to touch them. But hand painted, and I want to keep the wrapping on that. I could take it off. They wrapped it like that. You should have seen the box. This thing came in this huge box. They had it all wrapped up, and they FedExed it. And it's a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. And
Yeah, I
this,
looked on there to see if I could afford anything, but
yeah,
I'm not
And this-
putting money right now. Hold that up so I can see it a little better, Kevin.
it's pretty cool there. Whatever this was, she must have had a good time to have this hanging up in her dressing room. I'd be willing to bet it was something that benefited animals.
Probably so.
I don't know if you got to see the picture. Here's her dressing room where you can see it hanging back there under the cabinets and right above the counter there. That little piece of wall.
I want that bear.
Yeah. Yeah, that I tried to. There were a couple of dolls and that bear that came up, and I tried to bid on the really pretty doll, and boy, it shot. I got outbid severely. And there's where that tea caddy was in her kitchen. That's
That's
pretty.
cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take care of those. I got that made a space on the high shelf for that, so kitty cat can't get up there.
You know, I've got the perfect place where a kitty cat can't get to on the corner shelf of my kitchen that it would look perfect.
You want my tea caddy?
Maybe we can make a replica.
Maybe. Uh-oh, somebody's on. What in the world is that?
That's his
no.
car.
That's his speedometer. I thought there was fireworks out there.
Okay. Got that job done.
Got that job done.
I'll get home sometime this evening. What we got here? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep, okay. Now I know where I am. Have a look at the camera to see where I was. Ooh, doggy.
I already hawked our books at the beginning of the episode.
So what has anybody said to you from the great beyond?
Just a few words here and there. She was trying to tell a story to us about getting out in the summer.
Oh, what is she? She in heaven, prison, or something? Purgatory?
Oh, she's not in purgatory.
I don't know. He said getting out in the summer, so I guess maybe some people praying.
When she was alive, see.
Oh, how do you know? Did she qualify that, or are you guessing?
I was sound like a story because we were talking about the Golden Girls actresses and B. Arthur and her relationship, and
okay.
then she starts to say got out and during summer or one summer.
Oh, it's still drizzling rain out here.
Hey, last night I felt some snowflakes on my nose when I went to Walmart.
Sure, it wasn't dandruff.
No, it wasn't dandruff. It was on my windshield as well.
Oh, maybe God's got dandruff.
Kelsey had some earlier tonight.
Yeah.
I was making snow tonight.
Making snow. Oh, yeah. Making snow. I'm wondering what this here goofball picture right here. Look at that.
That is the most handsome man. I love that man. I'm madly in love with him.
Oh, Lord, you in love with yourself. Lord, that's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Without me, I'm nothing. I'm the only thing I can't live without.
I'm the only thing I can't live without, but I'm not the only thing I want to live without. There are people I don't want to live without.
Oh,
yeah. I'm one of those she wants to live without.
No, you're not.
It's like, God, I can just imagine the celebration when I die.
There won't be no celebrating.
They'll be repeating Martin Luther King's speech. Free at last.
Well, I had pulled up some creepy cursed Indian burial grounds. I even found this creepy picture right here. Look at that. Ooh.
Ooh. Well, it's amazing what made me think of that, Kevin, simply was that I would say 6 out of 10 hauntings of somebody's house, it's always, well, you built on Indian burial ground.
We were told in my childhood neighborhood that, we know there were Cherokee Native Americans there long before us. And we even found arrowheads and some broken pottery in the dirt. But a lot of people were saying there was burial ground in that area before our neighborhoods were built on it. And we had all kinds of creepy activity in my house and other houses.
Was that in Walker County?
That was in West Jefferson County, out in the woods.
Out in the wilderness.
And
what's the name of the town?
It's Adamsville, but our community was called Shady Grove. It's right behind Adamsville. And we
Kathy,
had,
well,
yeah, when the neighborhood right next to ours, that area was called Indian Meadows. It was named after the Indian territory there. And they had an old cemetery with tombstones going back to the 1800s, maybe early 1800s. And at one point further back, U.S. Steel they were digging their coal there, not far from where I lived. And at one point they pulled up what they thought was a full Indian skeleton, and it got sent off to University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Big mistake. And a lot of people think that's what caused the paranormal activity out there, disturbing the graves.
don't be
Well,
messing with them dead.
You know that the Boy Scouts of America up there at Liberty Park,
Yeah.
that's buried on my great grandparents and that era of people's graves, burial grounds, and they were Native Americans also.
There's a lot of cases where some of these places are dug up for medical reasons. Like I see this story here, the Spiro Mounds in Oklahoma, which have been dubbed the King Tut of the West because of the findings they've had there, confirming that too many burial sites have been used for the purpose of digging up bones and the stealing of artifacts, which peaked during the 19th century as a means for scientific investigation into cranial size, intelligence, diet, and DNA of Native Americans. The scientists take on the bodies dug up, and they were often displayed in museums with exhibition labels. And a century later, 1970s and 80s, issues came to a head. Native American legal groups filed lawsuits that sought to close the museum displays that still showcase those items that were dug up from that mound. And that also coincided with a lot of Hollywood movies that have come out, that like Poltergeist, about the house built over the old cemetery.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the Amityville horror movie fictionally used Native American burial ground as the cause of that house being cursed, which in real life, that's not.
A quick public service announcement before I have to get off here again. Next Tuesday night, Kevin, we're going to be in Trenton, Georgia for a wedding.
Golly bum.
Golly bum. We'll try to still join you, keeping in mind there's an hour's difference in time. So even on the road or whatever, we will try to hook up with you. But I want you to be prepared, please, to start the show. Would you?
Yes, I can do that. I have to find out what to talk about.
And I got, I got a strike on YouTube, so I'm not able to live stream on my YouTube channel this week. But next Tuesday, I should be free again.
Okay.
Be careful what you stream on here, because some of them don't. I streamed something, believe it or not, I believe it was Dr. Phil that struck me. Seriously.
That's what got you struck.
Isn't that right, Catherine? Catherine,
Yes,
isn't that right?
correct.
Are you listening?
No, I'm sorry. I had to run to the restroom real quick.
She ran to the restroom.
Well, I got a strike on the YouTube channel, and you said it was because of something I streamed from Dr. Phil
Yes,
or something.
yes.
I don't know. Anyway, I got
It was just crazy. I didn't get booted. It was my first strike, but
Well, I never knew I had another strike at all. I don't remember ever having a strike, but whatever. So I just want to let you know all that. So next week, Tuesday night, Catherine and I are going to be in Trenton, Georgia, for a wedding. So we will, one way or the other, try to join you on the road or whatever, and go from there.
All right.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
We are going to have fun.
I got a couple of more creepy burial ground turned cemetery stories. One here, of course, surprise, surprise, down in New Orleans. Who would have thunk it? A haunted burial ground in New Orleans? It says smack bang in the middle of one of America's spookiest cities is one of its spookiest burial grounds, too. And with sightings of the unexplained going back 200 years, this place has cemented itself in the supernatural history books. The reputation is founded on a number of factors, from the graves and tombs that have been broken into, and to the the voodoo rituals and seances that have been performed there. With 3 centuries of dead people clogging up the site, there's more than enough spirits often taking a midnight stroll. There have been, yes, the spirits of Native Americans seen prancing through the area there. The most famous ghost, though, is that of course, Marie Laveau, the voodoo priestess who is both a local urban legend and a potentially undead celebrity since 19th century. Many have reported seeing her in the cemetery wandering through the graves. She is often seen donning a headscarf and ceremonial clothes. It is disputed whether she's a ghost, however, as rumor has it she was brought back to life by voodoo. You might also spot Henry Vignes, a tall sailor in a crisp white t-shirt with striking blue eyes. It is rumored he was betrayed when his family vault was sold for personal gain, and he was thus buried in the paupers section. It's believed he is still looking for his family's vault for a proper burial. Another spirit is Alfonso, an unknown and unexplained mystery to the locals. Allegedly the spirit of a young native man. He will go up to visitors and ask for help to return home. He will then cry and disappear. So that's what they get for building their, I guess that's probably where a section of street has gone through. There was one, I don't think it's in this list, I found the other day. It was on YouTube where they have it's Native American ground there, and I can't remember where it was, but some of the markings of the graves are still there, but the county put their Blaine County road straight through that burial ground, right over some of those graves. And people have seen a lot of ghostly natives going across the road out there, sometimes on horseback, sometimes on foot. And it's quite the spectral sight. And I myself have seen what looked to be a Native American spirit when I lived in Shady Grove. As I mentioned earlier, there was Cherokee. There were Cherokee sites out there, and there were Cherokee burial grounds. And one night I was laying in bed. I was very little, elementary school age, and I was trying to go to sleep, and I was staring at the reflection of the window. The street light coming through the window was casting on the wall next to my bed. So on the wall, it looked like, because we had these square window panes, it looked like a tic-tac-toe board glowing on the wall. So I'm sitting there looking at it, and I see a shadow pass by. You know, like if somebody walks by the window out there, it's going to put their shadow. And it looked like somebody kind of hunched up and kind of hurrying by, and they were wearing some kind of a headdress. And I look at the window, and there's nobody there. But I look back, and I still see these figures going by. And I look at the window, and nothing was there. Look back at the reflection, and there the figures were. And they kept going until I went to sleep. And it didn't scare me. I just wondered, what's out there? Are there Indians out there? And then there was, you know, as I grew up a little bit, I was told about the stories of the Native Americans that lived there. And I think I saw their spirits out on a nightly round, probably hunting or just exploring these weird above ground caves that we called houses. They certainly weren't teepees. And what else? What other kind of story we have? We have a lot of Native American stories here and there's a lot of places, old burial grounds. And of course, you go over to Georgia, you got Savannah. That whole town is built over an old burial ground from Native American through colonial and Civil War, all the way up to who knows when they started, up until the point they started really building onto the city. So a lot of those streets and buildings are right over burial ground, and they have a lot of activity there, a lot of supernatural activity. So let's look at another cemetery here. Some of these, let's see. I'm trying to find one that would be good for. Here's one. Silver Cliff Cemetery in Colorado, out there where the Old West took place. Many haunted cemeteries are known for their high-profile residents, whether they stay under the ground or stretch their legs in the afterlife. This cemetery is infamous for the kind of activity witnessed here. First built in the late 19th century, the cemetery is known for the dancing blue lights seen around the cemetery at night. Bearing a resemblance to small white orbs or blue lantern lights, they allegedly bounce on the headstones. The phenomenon, there's our word, phenomenon, was even featured in an edition in an edition of the National Geographic magazine back in 1969, when first seen by a group of miners, not like teenage miners, but miners that go mining in the mountain. Scientists and skeptics alike have forged a number of claims disregarding its potentially paranormal origins, from the effects of wildfire seen at swamps and wet locations, and the effects of phosphenes, which are flashes of light perceived by the eye. An explanation is yet to be proven. Some believe these are the spirits of Native Americans who aren't quite happy that the white men came along and buried their dead in what was rightfully Native American burial ground. What do you think? So, and here's a creepy one that's a little more modern. I don't think this one has a Native American thing, but I'm going to share it anyway. So, Greenwood Cemetery in Orlando, Florida. Let's set the scene. You're in a cemetery in the dead of night. A full moon rises, illuminating small, stubby headstones amongst brown, rusty leaves. Suddenly, you hear a laugh. A child's giggle, perhaps? The chuckle is silenced by the sound of distant music. It evolves into music box tunes. The atmosphere grows thick with paranoia until you feel a tug on the end of your t-shirt. Many have reported such experiences at this Florida cemetery. Most of the children that passed away at the local Sunland Hospital were buried here and allegedly still haunt today. In fact, the cemetery is typically sectioned off into Babyland 1 and Babyland 2 to house the infants that did not reach the age of 5. That's sad. All right, did I have anything else here? Here's one. The suburban horror of the Indian burial ground. In the 70s and 80s, homeowners were terrified by the idea that they didn't own land that they had just bought. America is not a young land, William S. Burroughs writes in Naked Lunch. It is old and dirty and evil. Before the settlers, before the Indians, the evil was there waiting. It's this same belief in an old, dirty evil that drives so many of our modern ghost stories. There are haunted bridges and alleyways, haunted parks and parking lots. But in the United States, the most common, most primal haunted place is a house. home ownership has always been intertwined with the American dream. We have magnified this simple property decision in part because it represents safety and security. The haunted house is a violation of this comfort. The American dream gone horribly wrong. And in the last few decades, the most common cause for a house's haunting, a problem cited so frequently it's almost a cliche, is the Indian burial ground. The Anglo fascination with Indian burial lands stretches back at least to the 18th century. The revolutionary poet Philip Freneau was one of the earliest to approach these sacred lands with a mix of exoticism and foreboding. In 1787, his poem The Indian Burying Ground talks about the spirits of vanquished Indians still hunting, feasting, and playing. Be wary of the Native American burial ground, Freneau warns us, for life still moves there. If for Freneau these lands were mystical and sacred, in the 1970s this idea turned malevolent, becoming the foundation for a series of horror movies and stories of haunted houses, like the Amityville Horror that I talked about earlier. And this has sensationalized portrayal of Native American burial sites into this mismatch of hogwash, and that's not surprising. That's not entirely surprising. What is surprising, though, is how quickly the trope of a haunted Indian burial ground took root and spread throughout the rest of American culture. Haunted Indian burial grounds have appeared in Poltergeist, Stephen King's The Shining, the book, and in countless lesser-known films and novels and TV shows. Even the Stephen King novel Pet Sematary sort of hints to a cursed burial ground, even though it's for animals. It was something that was said to have dated back to Native American ideas. Trying to get in here and see if there's a story here. Yes, the narrative of the haunted Indian burial ground hides a certain anxiety about the land on which Americans, specifically white middle-class Americans, live. Embedded deep in the idea of home ownership, the holy grail of American middle-class life is the idea that we don't, in fact, own the land we've just bought. Time and time again in these stories, perfectly average, innocent American families are confronted by ghosts who have preserved for centuries, who remain vengeful for the damage done. Facing these ghosts and expelling them in many of these horror stories becomes a means of refighting the Indian wars of past centuries. There's precious little land in the United States that hasn't been contested one way or another through the years. Americans live on haunted land because we have no other choice. Or yeah, really, I mean, now there's just nothing you can do to go back and change it, other than we can take pride and respect in the Native American history. I know I love my Cherokee background.
I'm your enemy. I'm a Creek. No, I'm just kidding. If you think about it, Kevin, no matter where you are in this world, whether you're on the ocean or on the land, inside a volcano, into the desert, it doesn't matter where you are on this earth. Something or someone at some point in time has died on that spot.
Yeah.
And even in the freaking air.
Well, and even going back to the BC times, you know,
Mhm.
cavemen, all that. I mean,
I'm talking about from beginning of time.
yeah.
A tree or something a bug has died in that area.
Yeah,
So,
there's no.
and ghost happenings are not just, or something from the spirit world is not just something that happens in the United States of America.
Yeah.
It happens all over the world.
All over.
Different traditions, different cultures, different races, different religions, different. They all have one thing in common. We've all seen some sort of a, well, I can't say everybody and everybody has seen it, but we all have had experiences.
Yeah.
And some of those experiences that we just can't explain. Even people that don't think they've not had an experience have probably had one. They just can't think of exactly. They want to explain it away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, what do you think it is? Do you think it's just like a side by side realms, or do you think it's? How do you believe it happens?
I've always thought that when, of course, I'm looking at it from the Christian point of view. I've always thought when we pass away, there's sort of an in between time, not really purgatory where you're having to pay for stuff you did wrong, but sort of a waiting period until the
The resurrection.
you get into the resurrection. And there on that side, there's no time. So even though time's still passing here, years go by, we're born and we're dead. I think over there it's different. It's like it moves faster, and that's just my impression on it. But as far as these, I've been to Myrtle's Plantation a lot. I forgot to mention that earlier. That's got a story behind it that I can't remember the names of the tribes there. Is it the Samoans or the Native American tribe that lived there? They had burial ground there where the Myrtle's Plantation was built. And they put a curse on it when the white man came through. And so every time something bad happens, and there's been several murders there, deaths, there's a lot of ghosts there, people blamed it on that Native American curse. But I think we bring our own bad, our own evil, we bring it upon ourselves.
Yeah. Your grandparents were Native American.
Yeah, especially on my grandmother's side. On my dad's side, I think they said my great was full-blooded Cherokee, and then on my Pawpaw Kane's side, he had some Cherokee, but he had mostly Welsh, which is where the white came from. But then on my mom's side of the family, her mother had Cherokee. So on both sides, there's Cherokee that come into play in the great grandparents section, and it's full-blooded. So I know I don't have enough to say I'm a quarter Cherokee. I think, I use that, what's it called? That place you can do DNA tests. What's it called? Heritage.com, something like that. I did test, and I was like, I won't say it was 2 or 3% Native American, but hey, that's something.
Well, they can't really tell you exactly how much indigenous you have in you. But my mom, what is that other one called?
The other what?
There's another one. Your DNA, another DNA test.
Well, there's one I said MyHeritage. I think it's called MyHeritage. What is it called? What is that website called? I'm gonna go crazy if I don't look it up. Ancestry.com.
Yeah, Ancestry.com.
That's where I went. Yeah, I didn't. You don't really know how accurate it is. It could be that you have more percentage than what they say.
Ooh, that MyHeritage is on sale for $39.
Oh.
And the Ancestry is on sale for $59. I'm sorry.
Ancestry.com's for sale.
It's on sale. Or 23andMe's one too.
Yeah. Yeah, Ancestry.com's the one I used. Well, it's 8:30, so I got to get off here. Well, I guess you have to get off too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here too because I got a bunch of stuff to get done.
Okay. We'll go ahead and end the broadcast. And anybody out there still watching, we appreciate you. And hopefully a lot of people go back and watch this in the archives. But we'll be back next Tuesday. And I don't know what we'll talk about yet, but we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out, and hopefully we'll be back on Abnormal Alabama.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. I'll have a doll next week, I'm sure, to put on here. To put on here.
What was that?
That was my skull bumping on the table there when I picked it up, the REM pod.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, Kevin, I enjoyed it. You have a wonderful evening.
All right. You too.
And you know what? I'll just leave it on, and I'll just do a spirit box session.
Okay.
We'll just leave it on, and I'll turn the spirit box on, and we'll see what we can get.
You mean leave this broadcast on?
Yeah,
or
leave it broadcast now. I'll turn the spirit box on.
Okay. Are you able to end it when you're done, or?
Yeah, I'm able to end it. I'm able to.
Okay. Well, I'll just take myself out then.
All right. You have a wonderful night, Kevin.
All righty. Good night.
And y'all make sure y'all go buy his books.
Yes.
Great Christmas presents.
Yes, please. All right. Good night.
Good night. All right, guys. We'll start doing a spirit box session. I got it turned on. I'm hoping the volume is up because I'm not hearing any white noise on this. Maybe I turned it down. I did. What else do we? So who's here with me this evening? What do you need help with? Your friend? What's wrong with your friend? Wants? What does he want? Actually, what? What is it? What's scaring you? Very what? What is it? You can't tell me. Why can't you tell me? She's pushing you? I don't want to push you, but if you want to tell me, you can tell me. Why you're scared. Are you what's been in my kitchen? Where are you now? I don't want to go in there. You come in here. Are you trying to scare me? You're not scaring me. Are you bothering Lakota the dog? Are you bothering my dogs? Oh, you're playing with them? I've noticed Lakota's been playing a lot more lately. She doesn't normally play. She's old. And Jules has been playing a lot lately. Have you been playing with them? Yes. Lakota, have you been playing with the ghost? For those that don't know, Lakota is my husky. She is not a bitch. Ha ha ha. He'll support it. Do you which item are you attached to in my house? Oh, I did move you. Okay. Yes. And you fell. I'm sorry. I did not mean to. Okay. All right. You're attached to my painting that I moved into from the bedroom to the living room. Is that correct? That's the one. Okay. So that picture is a picture of a bunch of men. It's a painting. See? So who's attached to this painting? I've never done anything, and I'll have to post a picture of this painting eventually. Who's attached to this painting? What's your name? I don't remember how. Raymond? Raymond, are you do you like it in the living room better? I'm going to hang you on the wall as soon as I get some nails. Yes. Okay. I know those command hooks were not working. I should have bought real command hooks and not the $1.25 tree command hooks. But I'm going to get some. Yeah, I'll get you back up there. Yes, I promise. I promise I'll get you back up there. I think I'm going to put my table there where I do my show, my nightly show, and I'm going to have it decorated all up here soon. Yeah, if I get up off my ass. Yeah, I know. So I know I've got a few other paintings that are kind of haunted that I'm going to put up. I'm working on getting that. I need some bookshelves to put in here so I can put all my haunted items up and together and in one place. and go from there. Perfect. Yeah, I know. I say perfect all the time. So, are there any other spirits here with us other than the painting that want to speak tonight? You always can, anytime. Anytime I have the spirit box on, anybody can come talk to it through it. Yes, painting. Are you another painting or are you the same painting? It's dark, okay. Are you the lady that I have? Tomorrow night I have something very special we're going to go through. And we're going to probably spend a few nights on it. And I can't wait. I've got an 1800s photo album. It is not a square. It is not a rectangle. It is a trapezoid type thing. It is so beautiful. It's got this metal work on the front of it. It's got this place that you can, like this clasp that's metal. It is gorgeous. It's velvet. It's very old, very old. It's from the 1800s. I acquired it last week and I've been wanting to start on it, and I think I'm going to try to start on it tomorrow night and go through all the photos and share them with you guys, and we'll see if we can't get any readings and things off of them. Yeah, I think that would be very neat. But it's a beautiful ornate book, and I think that it's filled. I mean, when it called me to it, I just had to have it because it is beautiful. And I'm not sure what to do. I want to preserve it, and I'm going to figure out a way to preserve it. But just out of curiosity, is there any, I know the book's in yonder, and I know you guys can't see it right now. I'm not in a position to show you the book, but is there anybody from the photo album that wants to come through tonight? Is that William? Sergeant? I didn't understand that. Yeah, you can talk. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm waiting. I believe they're having together. Do one, but do one, but what? Something knock. Is there anybody else out there that wants to talk to us? We're going to get this, when I have this photo album in my hand tomorrow, and I'm showing it to you guys on camera, we're going to go through it very thoroughly see if we can find anything about it. I know no history on it other than the place that we picked it up. But the photos, I pulled one of the photos out, and they're from actually New York. So I don't know if they like printed them out in New York. Or if they actually were from New York. I don't know how it worked in the 1800s, but they're beautiful photos. They're old. I just can't express how moving looking at this photo album is. It's so full of spirits, and I know when it's in my hands and I'm holding it and I'm sharing it with you guys, you're going to see it and feel it. So the spirit with the painting. Did we ever get your name? Trying it now. I figure that's an early 1900s painting. It is. Are you wanting to? What are you wanting to say? Were you hanging in a... Okay, hold on, let me... Were you hanging in a lounge? That's what the yeses were for. Yeah, see, there was music again. It was like, yes, I'm getting it. You're getting it. You're understanding us is what it was telling me. And it was like, but I had to get the question out so you guys could hear it. What kind of events were there? Lots of parties? Yes. Lots of important people there? Oh, Oreo, you scared me. I'm sorry. I was in my trance and you scared me. Name of something. It's the cat. I'm sorry. I'm coming back. What? What? LPs? Did you, Yes, I see it. A lot of gambling went on, didn't it? A bunch. Mm-hmm. Something or break, and I couldn't understand. Are you standing right there in front of Oreo? Oreo's following something with her eyes, and there's nothing there. Is that you? Yeah, that's you. And now Oreo's back on my bed, and she's just on the floor. But did you call her in there? Into the living room? News camera? Used camera. Okay. Oh, hold on. Well, I'll turn my camera on here. I'm recording now. Do you want to show me on the camera? It's definitely something. The universe is here. Can you show me something on the camera now? Why are you not focusing? All right, guys, we're getting close to the 9 o'clock hour. Could you guys please do me a huge favor? Yes. I know you guys can't do this, but the people that are out there can. My buddy Kevin Kane and my best friend Kelsey Graham have written a bunch of books. They are two wonderful men. Yes, they are. And guys, it would really help them out if you guys could go and purchase a book. They make great stocking stuffers, birthday presents, Father's Day, Mother's Day. I mean, these are pretty awesome gifts. And they're not that expensive. See, yes, they're not that expensive. The Spirit Box agrees with me. But please go purchase their books. And guys, Dr. Grant also has the wishing machine at thewishdr.com. You can get his books on Amazon or datingthedead.com. Kevin's you can get on Amazon or myhauntedolls.com. If you order from the actual websites, we can have them autographed, made out to you, whoever purchases it, or whoever you want it to be made out to. But I'm talking great, wonderful gifts for someone, even a gift for yourself. Do you need to do something for yourself today? Go buy the books. We all need to do something for ourselves. It's a very expensive thing to do for yourself. I like that idea. Anyway, buy for your friends, buy for yourself, but enjoy their books and read them. And we appreciate every moment of you guys joining us. Hopefully we'll be live again on Abnormal Alabama next Tuesday night. But I will be going live from my page, Lady Cat Marie, tomorrow night to show you the photo album. And we'll go through it and we'll do some spirit box sessions, maybe some tarot card readings, any of that fun stuff. But I love you guys. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and follow.